I just think that it's so, you get frustrated with this sometimes, and I understand it somewhat, but it is a relative assessment. And the reason that it's so close, and she may win the election, is because if that's what matters to voters, they're not going to vote for Donald Trump. The man lies when the truth is a better story. He owns nothing that is not favorable for him. So if that's what you're worried about with Kamala Harris, I don't think she's really answering the question. I don't know that she can be trusted. How does she lose the election if that's the basis of measurement? Especially, she spent half her time bashing him. I'll take your staff's word at it. They're strong staff. I mean, it's still got to be 50% less than he spends, Bill. I mean, he hasn't even talked about killing the head of Hamas because he's too busy bashing her for having edited interviews, just like his are.
Look, you say he says lies, all right?
Yeah.
You say he won't cede anything.
Yeah.
Well, she won't cede anything either.
I know.
She doesn't admit one mistake.
Get the analysis.
Not one. So then it comes down to two things. No, he doesn't admit a mistake. As I wrote in my book, The United States of Trump, his own son said, the reason my father never admits a mistake is because he thinks it shows a sign of weakness. And that's the truth.
Weird for a Christian.
Here's what it comes down to. Kamala Harris and her advisors are running on the same strategy that Biden ran on in 20. That there'll be enough Americans who hate Trump, not love her, but hate him, that they'll vote her into office. That's their strategy. Yeah. I do not believe that's a winning strategy.
I don't disagree.
Because of the money factor, cash in your pocket factor.
Yeah.
Working Americans are suffering.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris has no grasp of the economy whatsoever. If she did, she would have put it out there. She has plans. And you know what her central plan is? That I'm going to give every first-time home buyer in the United States $25,000, a check from the government. Number one, that's unconstitutional. Number two, it would never get through Congress. And number three, we have a $35 trillion debt that would quickly rise to $40 trillion. That will never happen. That's your plan? That's your policy outlook? That's like me saying, I'm going to go to everybody's house, all right, if you watch the No Spin News. I'm going to go, whoever watches the No Spin News, I'm going to go to your house and cure any malady you have. You have diabetes? I'm coming, I'm going to cure it. Okay, if you watch my show. It's insane. But that's what she's putting out there.
Yeah.
And you were right, and I hate to say that. It pains me. I got just a head like that. You were right to say that Americans in the middle are going, both of them, what? But it's happened before in our history. And my vote is going for Trump because he ran the country effectively, in my opinion, real wages up 7% for 4 years. January 6th, no excuse. But I'm going for experience rather than gibberish. And Kamala Harris, her entire presentation, 100%, is gibberish.
Well, I think that there are a lot of people who feel the same way about him. And that this economy is in recovery mode in part because of his mismanagement of the early phase of the pandemic, which absolutely extended it. And
I don't believe that for a second.
Well, but that's what changed the numbers. The pandemic changed the numbers. He denied its existence.
Of course the pandemic did,
he said the cold would be gone by Easter.
He had nothing to do with mismanaging the economy.
He was in charge. No. The pandemic took care of the economy. You had to do what you had to do. I'm not saying that he made changes to the economy.
So he didn't mismanage COVID.
Sure he did.
He got the sainted vaccine as fast as any human being can get it.
That was his signature achievement. He just won't talk about it because most of his supporters are anti-vaxxers.
Fine. And when he left office, inflation was 1.4%.
Yeah.
End of story, Cuomo.
I know. I think that's a really compelling argument. I think the tariffs had a big part to do with the inflationary environment, but you got to make that case to the voters, and they're not making it. So I don't disagree with you. That pain in the pocket may well decide this in conjunction with something we haven't discussed, which is immigration, which is also a potential kill shot for Harris. So I think that it's no surprise to me it's this close, and I look forward to watching you unfold in real time on election night. Bill O'Reilly, thank you for your perspective as always. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.